Alrighty then, it's time to get this 8 o'clock hour going, and we're going to kick it off with Joe. But before we get to that, hey, we just got a phone call just a few moments ago. This is incredible.
Yes, it is.
It's very incredible. Old Blues Garage bringing you the 8 o'clock hour, and you need to get your front end aligned on your vehicle, because the reason why is because if you don't have your front end aligned, it wears your tires out, so you got two problems. Check this out. You can get the front end aligned on your vehicle for the low price of $39.95.
That's pretty cheap, Rick.
Yeah. Starting today, $39.95 front end alignment. That is nuts. I mean, that is crazy how cheap that is. So get by Old Blues Garage, $39.95 on the front end alignment. That is something else. Go by and see them.
Yeah, I don't think if you can beat that, Rick.
You can. I mean, that's the best price around. 1420 380 bypass. Call them up at 549-1570. Make an appointment to get your vehicle and get the front end line, and you'll be glad you did. And that's what we're going to be talking about this morning, is talking about getting your vehicle ready to roll, because, like it or not, the cold weather, we got a little bit over the Thanksgiving holiday. Some of the folks up in the Panhandle dealing with ice, black ice, things like that.
Well, I tell you, the ice on the roadway is always it's always something that I fear. Just because it seems like it happens usually every year. Well, gets cold, it gets icy rain and all that fun stuff, and cars go to sliding, and when cars slide, they typically don't tend to stop very easily or without hitting something. And
well, you take a 3,500-pound car, you get it going about 50, 60 miles an hour, hit some ice.
Yep.
That's a bad combination.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not a good combination at all. And it's a good time to just remind folks to slow it down a little bit, take extra precaution, leave early. Obviously, leave plenty of room ahead of the person ahead of you, so that you're not going to rear end them and cause more accidents and more problems. And it's a good idea. Get your car, just kind of, talk about front end alignment, wearing out your tires. It's never a good combination either, to have bad tires and ice. We don't really have snow tires down here per se. We don't probably really use them that often. But you want to make sure your tires are in good shape. They're properly inflated. Also not a bad idea. I mean, I don't know that we've got any real heavy blizzards coming in, but it's that time of year when it's probably okay to throw some kind of supplies in your car, kind of keep it maybe in the back seat a little bit. Put a blanket back there. You never know if you're, traveling the back roads a little bit and something happens. You may get stranded. You may get stuck. You don't want to be without maybe, make sure you got some flares back there, maybe a blanket or two, just something to kind of keep you warm in case something happens, maybe a couple of hand warmers, things like that, because you run off the road into a ditch, it may be a while, and you may be out of cell phone coverage where somebody can come pick you up.
I've always been told that anytime you think about the cold weather, that you should throw a large bag of kitty litter in the trunk.
Sure.
Because you can get traction if you get stuck someplace. Also, go to a hardware store, someplace like that, find one of those small utility shovels that'll fold up. You can throw in the back of your vehicle. That way, if you need to dig out under a tire, if you get stuck or something like that, you can put something underneath it. But, it is getting that time of year where you got to start thinking about these things, because in Texas, you know how it works. We go from having summer to winter.
Exactly.
There's not much fall
and then back
involved.
to summer, and then a couple days of winter.
Right.
And yeah, it is. You're exactly right. And they make products these days. They make some like de-icing products that you can put in your car as well to help with things like the windshield. You can also, you talk about putting kitty litter for traction. They make products these days as well that you can kind of melt that ice pretty quick to try to get some traction. But I mean, mud's the same way. We dealt with it over the weekend a lot, where so much rain and it's that soaking, drenching rain that it creates mud everywhere, and so you can easily get stuck in mud just as easy as you can get stuck in ice. And yeah, it's just we always talk about, what is it, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
I don't know,
something
like that.
What's the measurement on that?
An ounce in a pound?
Sure.
Well, you got 16 ounces in a pound, so you're 15 ounces short.
For me this morning, right?
You're 15 ounces short.
Okay, well, either way, you want to make sure you're prepared. Do the Boy Scout thing. Be prepared for what happens. I mean, it doesn't take much. You can put a little bag in the back of your car in your trunk or something like that, just to kind of have it ready. It's also a good idea. Obviously, check your auto policy. Make sure if you needed comp and collision, so that in the event something does happen, you want to get your car repaired. You got to look at the numbers and make sure that it makes sense for you. If you've got an older vehicle like mine, for example. We were talking about trucks, and I think my 04 just rolled 242. That's thousands of miles. So for me, my truck's not worth all that much. Some days I hope that something would happen to it, but it doesn't. It just keeps on going.
One thing I like a lot of folks don't understand in their auto policy, and I found this out over the years, is that don't you have to buy or have added to your policy in case you do have an accident and your car is out of commission, that you have to add the rental car thing to it?
Exactly.
A lot of people think that that's automatically in there when it's really not.
No, it's not. You bring up a very good point. It's part of a policy that you can add. They call it endorsements. You can add it to your policy to cover something like either $30, $35, $40 a day to give you some transportation while your vehicle's being repaired. Usually, typically in a situation like we're talking about where you may be going to slide into a person, you may be talking about 2-3 weeks downtime, especially as the places that get fixed cars start getting busy. It may push it out to 3 to 4 weeks before they can get to your vehicle and get it repaired. And if you're like me, you need to get to work every day, so you need something to drive while your car's in the shop. So you want to get that as an endorsement added to your vehicle. You do have to have full coverage on your vehicle to make that happen. They don't make it available to you for just liability only. So if it's something you want to look at, we do need to make sure, kind of do a pre-inspection before you add full coverage to a policy, just to make sure that no one's coming in and saying, hey, I got in that wreck yesterday, and today I want to add full coverage, and whoops, look what happened. So not to say that anybody would do that, but people have. So
it has happened in the past.
That's why they do it.
And there's a reason why they got that out there.
There's a reason why they do it. So yeah, let us take a look at it, see what your situation may be. Everybody's situation is different out there, and it's just one of those things that we try to, do it as quick as we can, review your policy, take a look at it. This time of year is always kind of busy. We got, open enrollment with healthcare ending here in about, the 2nd today. So we got 13 days till open enrollment for a 1/1/16 start date. So that's been a real crazy part of the year this year, getting healthcare quotes out and stuff like that. That seems to change every week. So if it's healthcare, if it's auto policies, whatever you need, home policies, let us take a look at it, review the coverage that you got, make some recommendations, make sure you're covered the way you need to be.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that, you can let an insurance policy set for a long time. You keep paying and paying and paying and paying, and the coverages are out of date.
Out of
so
whack,
you need to really talk to, it's a good, I guess it's a good thing. Here it is, December, being the end of the year. It would be a good thing to get that known now before you go into the new year.
Exactly. Always a good idea. Cleaning out the closets, checking on the policies, getting rid of things you hadn't used in a couple of years, purge day. I always like to have a good purge day at the end of the year. Just kind of get rid of all those clothes, all those knickknacks that are just sitting there collecting dust, the I'll get to it one day kind of a thing. Make today or tomorrow that day that you say, all right, I'm going to pull out the policies. I'm going to download them online or whatever. I'm going to let somebody take a look at them. You may be covered exactly the way you need to be, and you might be squared away, or you may not. Let somebody take a look at it who knows what they're doing. We've got so many years of experience there at Bryan Insurance, whether it's commercial, personal lines, whatever. Been in business almost 100 years coming up. So it's a good idea to let somebody take a look at it who knows what the heck they're doing, has got the experience to do it, and let them take a look at it for you.
Get it done to Bryan Insurance. Call them at 549-2525. Bon Jovi coming up here on your Old Blues Garage 8 o'clock hour. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Rick.
And don't forget, they've got that great special going on right now. Front end alignment at Old Blues Garage. Only $39.95. Go check it out.
Q 94.7.